Hey friends, welcome. We are having an ice storm in Wilmington tonight, so I am feeling all kinds of cozy. So I thought that I would just jump on and film an intuitive night flow, something nice and gooey to help wind you down. And I actually already tried to start filming this, and Lucy sort of took over, so we'll see if it works this time. I might have to shut her into a different part of the house. But we're gonna get started seated. So you can start on your knees or with your legs crossed in a nice easy pose. And just take a little bit of time to get settled in. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And just notice right away how simply bringing a hand to your heart, to your belly, immediately helps to drop you in, to connect you with yourself, with where you are in space, in time. And take a big inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, let it go. Another big inhale through your nose. Sigh it out. And take one more giant breath in. Open your mouth, let everything go. Flow your lips closed. Come back to breathing in and out through your nose. See if you can start to equalize each breath in and each breath out. And on your inhale, blink your eyes open, reach your fingertips to the sky. Stretch through the sides of your waist. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Reach high on your inhale. This time, drop your left fingertips to the mat. Reach your right fingertips over toward the left side of your space. Keep wrapping your right tricep down towards your cheek. Left fingertips might crawl out a little further. Come back through center. Left fingertips reach high. Right fingertips crawl out to the right. Keep rooting down through your left sit bone. Come back through center. Right fingertips reach high and back over to the left. This time you might find some circles through your shoulders, maybe cactus your right arm. Find circles in both directions. And come back through center. Left fingertips reach high over to the right. Circle through your shoulder if that feels good. Move in both directions. Come back up through center, bring both hands to your knees. If you've got your legs crossed, you can switch the cross of your legs. And if you're on your knees on a block, just find an easy pose with your legs crossed if that feels okay. When you inhale, pull your heart toward the front of your space, and then find some circles through your torso. Exhale, navel pulls to your spine. Just move at your own pace. Move in both directions with your circles. And take a few more breaths. Last breath to even it out. And come back through center, come onto your hands and knees. Find table. So the shoulders stack over your wrists, hips stack over your knees. Let's take a few rounds of cat-cow. When you get there, move intuitively, organically. You can circle through your torso. I like to flip my palms so my fingertips face my knees. That helps stretch through the forearms, the wrists. Any movements here that feel good. If you take my classes in person, you'll know that I typically a little bit more linear with my movement. But when I practice on my own, usually it doesn't look the same as a public class that I would normally teach at all. Really just about feeling into your body, noticing where you are, what feels good. Take a couple more breaths. Even out whatever you've got. Come back through center, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. A little movement when you get there, pedal through your heels, shift the weight from one leg to the other, bend one knee at a time. And then eventually start to find some stillness. Let your inner thighs wrap back, fingers spread wide. Forearms lift forward while your triceps wrap down. Keep knitting your front ribs in. And from down dog, on your inhale, drift forward, plank. And then exhale, pull your hips high to go back down dog. Inhale, roll forward, plank. Exhale, hips high, downward facing. Drift forward on your inhale. And this time lower in your way, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga, whatever you need. Heart lifts on your inhale, cobra or up dog. Downward facing on your exhale. One more time like that, drift to plank. Lower down. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing. Right leg rises. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Keep squaring through your torso. Maybe circle through your right ankle. And on your exhale, pull your knee to your right shoulder. Step outside your right pinky, lizard lunge. So you can keep pressing to your palms. You might drop your forearms to a block or the mat. But breathe wherever you are. Back knee can drop down. I like to turn my right toes slightly out to the right. Flex through your foot so you stay active, but then just make sure your right knee follows in the same direction as your right toes. If you want to get a little deeper into your left hip flexor, you might bend your left knee, kick your heel to your glute, and then your right hand might reach for the top of your foot. But breathe. With control, release what you've got. Press back to your palms, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. So spin your back heel down. You might need to heel toe your right foot in toward the center of your mat a tiny bit more. Find that heel to heel or heel to inner arch alignment. And you can keep your right fingertips on the mat, maybe bring a block under your hand. And then left fingertips just reach straight up to the sky. And then you might bend your left elbow, cactus your arm. Maybe find some shoulder circles, open up. Your next breath, drop your left arm behind your low back, find a half bind. So the back of your hand can rest there. Your left fingertips might find your right hip crease. See if you can sink your hips just a touch deeper. Gaze might go over your left shoulder. If you've got your bind, gently unravel. Ground into your feet to press you up. Warrior two. Right palm flips open, reach back, reverse. Windmill your hands to frame your front foot. Step to plank, optional vinyasa. Come straight back to down dog, whatever you need. Pedal it out. And then left leg goes high. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Maybe circle through your left ankle. On your exhale, pull your left knee to your outer left shoulder. And then just step outside your left pinky. Lizard lunge. Modify however you need. Breathe into your inner thighs, front of your right hip. If you want a little more, you might bend your right knee, kick your heel towards your glute. Left hand might reach for the top of your foot. Without slingshotting your foot, gently release. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, press back to your palms. You might need to heel toe your left foot in toward the center of your mat just a tiny bit, and then spin your right heel down into the ground. The left fingertips can stay where they are. Maybe hand comes to a block. Right fingertips go to the sky. Really use your left arm to press into your inner left knee to help hug your outer left hip back. It'll help spin your left ribs toward the right edge of your mat. And then maybe you start to find those shoulder circles. Just bring a little mobility into your joints. And eventually, meet in that half bind. Back of your right hand can rest at your low back. Maybe your fingertips find your left hip crease. Think about lifting the tip of your right shoulder up to the sky. Open up through the front of your deltoid. And then ground into your feet. Release your bind. Press up, warrior two. Just here for a breath. Flip your left palm open. Reach back, reverse. Windmill your hands. Frame your front foot. Step to plank. Optional vinyasa. Brings you to downward facing dog. Shake it out. Lift your gaze, bend your knees, walk, step, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Fold on your exhale. Let's do two more like that. Half lift on your inhale. Exhale, fold. Last time, lengthen. Exhale, coil in. Come all the way up. Arms rise, heart lifts. Hands to the heart on your exhale. Inhale, reach high. Dive down, bow in. Inhale, spine lengthens. Step, maybe float. Optional vinyasa brings you to downward facing dog. Right leg rises. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Pull your knee under and across, left shoulder. Spin your back heel down, reach your left fingertips to the sky. Keep pulling your right knee into your chest. So if you need less, right toes can touch the mat. Take one more breath. Plant your left hand, right leg goes up and back. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Pull your knee to your nose, step between your palms. Back knee drops down. Pull your right leg straight. Let each breath in create a little more length through the back of your body. Each exhale, heart lengthens toward your toes. And your inhale, half lift. Keep your left fingertips where they are, right hand to your right hip or fingertips to the sky. Keep wrapping your left tricep back. Plant your right fingertips. Swivel your left toes toward the right edge of your mat. Root down through the inner arch of your right foot, so you're on the sole of your right foot. Left fingertips plant to the back of your mat, right arm by your right ear. So we're in like a modified Vashisthasana, facing the opposite way. If you want a little more, you might lift your right leg, maybe bend your knee, kick your heel to your glute. Right hand might reach back for the top of your foot. Breathe into the front of your chest. Release if you've got the bind. Plant your right foot. Come back to your half split, top of your mat. And then bend your right knee, arms rise, knee down, warrior. Bend your elbows, cactus your arms. Interlace your fingers at your low back, Yoga Mudra. Take an inhale, lift your chest. Fists might slide down the back of your left thigh. Last breath in. Release your hands, frame your front foot. Shift the weight into your right leg. Left leg goes to the sky, standing split. So at first, let your hips square. Same as what we would normally do. Outer edge of your left hip wraps down in line with your right. If you need a little bend, let it be in your right knee. See if you can activate your left leg. And then on your next breath, let your left hip roll open. You might bend your left knee, let your heel drop towards your right glute. Your right hand might come behind your calf, your ankle. Your right hand might even reach for your left foot. Keep sending your left knee up to the sky. And take one more breath. If you've got your foot, gently release. Square through your hips, lengthen through your left leg. Right knee bend, step all the way back. Step to plank. Optional vinyasa brings you to down dog. Left leg goes high. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Pull your knee under to your right shoulder. Spin your back heel into the mat. Reach your right fingertips to the sky. Keep lifting your inner left knee. Your outer left hip lifts. Take a breath. And then plant your right hand. Left leg goes high. Bend your knees. Stack your hips. Pull your knee to your nose. Step between your palms. Back knee drops. Left leg goes straight. Half split. Might need to slide your left heel forward a tiny bit. Keep your hips stacked over your right knee. Breathe into the back of your left leg. Sometimes it's nice, especially in the evening, just to move with more fluidity, more freedom. Think less about the cueing and more about how it feels in your body. On your inhale, lengthen your spine. Left hand to your left hip, maybe fingertips to the sky. Outer left hip keeps pinning back. Take one more inhale. Float your left hand down. Right foot swivels toward the left edge of your mat. Right hand plants to the back edge. Come onto the sole of your left foot, left arm by your left ear. Modified Vashisthasana. If you want more, left leg might lift. Maybe you bend your knee, kick your heel to your glute. Left hand might reach back for the top of your foot. Think about pressing your foot into your hand, pulling your hand into your foot. Last breath. If you've got the bind, gently release. And then plant your left foot. Come back to frame your left leg. Half split, top of your mat. And then left knee bends, arms rise, knee down warrior. So first, just find some length through the sides of your waist. Reach your fingertips to the sky. And then bend your elbows, cactus your arms. Interlace your fingers at your low back, opposite thumb and pinky on top if you can remember. You might make it more of an upper back bend. Heart lifts to the sky, fists glide down the back of your right leg. And can you keep scooping your tailbone toward the mat? Take a breath. Release your hands, frame your front foot. Shift the weight to your left leg. Right leg goes to the sky. Standing split. Breathe into the back of your left leg. Soften the back of your neck. And then on your next breath, let your right hip roll open. You might even bend your right knee. Let your heel drop towards your glute. Left hand can find the back of your ankle. Left forearm to your left calf. Maybe your left hand reaches back and up for your right foot. Let the crown of your head hang heavy. If you've got your foot, gently release. Lengthen your right leg to the sky, square through your hips. Deep bend in your left knee, step your right foot all the way back. Meet it with the left. Optional vinyasa brings you back to downward facing dog. Lower to your knees. Cross one ankle over the other, sit behind your heels. Extend your legs to the top of your mat, flex your toes to the sky. Slide your glutes behind your sit bones, take an inhale, reach high. Hinge at your hips to fold. Paschimottanasana. Slowly make your way back up. So bend your knees and cross one shin in front of your other, but keep your feet wide so they're at the width of your knees. This is perfect. If you feel like you could go a little deeper, you might stack your front shin on top of your left for Agni Stambhasana, double fire log pose. And if you find that your top knee is super lifted off of your bottom foot, you can always bring a block, a bolster, a blanket in between, just for a little support. You can stay lifted. You might crawl your fingertips forward. See if you can keep both sit bones rooted down. Keep activating your feet. Wherever you are, breathe. I always like to do a lot of hip opening at night because I find that kind of releases a lot of the tension that's been built up over the day. So much of it is stored in our hips. So when we can make that space before we get in bed, for me, I definitely notice getting a more deeper sleep. Take 2 more breaths. Gently release what you've got. You might step your feet out a little wider than your mat. Plant your fingertips behind your hips and just windshield wipe your knees from side to side. When you're ready, find that same variation or something similar on the opposite side. So if this side feels a little tighter, you might just keep your front shin crossed right where it is. Maybe you stack the front shin on top of the other. Block underneath the knee. So if you feel any pinching, any compression in your knee joint, definitely like to use a block, or another great option would be figure 4 on your back. Just give yourself a little time to settle in. Forward folding is also something that I like to do at night. It can help to regulate your nervous system, calm your mind. And typically, back bending is more energizing. So when we do that in the evening, oftentimes it can actually wake us up. So doing the opposite of that helps calm us and brings us back into our body, into our space. Last couple of breaths. And gently release. Step your feet out wide, keep your knees bent, send your knees from side to side, shake it out. When you're ready, come all the way down to your back. You can have a block, a bolster close by. We will find a passive supported back bend. So come all the way down, plant your feet hips width apart, draw your heels in towards your sit bones, and then grab whatever prop you have, send it to the most shallow side, the shortest side, I guess you could say. Slide it under your sacrum, that flat bone at your low back. Arms can stay down by your sides. If you want to get a little deeper into your shoulders, your chest, you can cactus your arms. If you want even more, you might extend your legs to the top of your mat. Just slide one heel at a time to the top corners. I tend to have a lot of tension, a lot of tightness in my hip flexors, so it helps a lot to open up the front of my body when I find a nice supported bridge with my legs extended. Take a couple more breaths. If your legs are extended, without letting your heels leave the mat, just let them drag back up towards you. Plant the soles of your feet one at a time. And then press into your feet to slide your prop out of the way. Come all the way down. Pull your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze, and then let your knees drop to the left. And gaze might go past your right shoulder. Just let your right ribs melt down toward the mat. Let your right shoulder soften. Moving your knees back through center, switch sides. Come back through center. Hug both knees in. Give yourself one last squeeze. Hug your forehead to your knees. Take in a giant breath of air. Hug in all the tension, all the stress, anything you're still holding on to. See if you can sip in just a little more air. On your exhale, open your mouth. Let everything go. Sprawl open. Shavasana. Find whatever shape feels most supportive for you. You might find legs up the wall if you've got a wall near you. And let the soles of your feet draw together with your knees dropped out wide. Settle in. And feel free to stay on your back exactly as you are for as long as you need. If you're with me, feel free to gently roll over to your left side before pressing up to a seat. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly if that feels okay. Just notice the beat of your heart. The flow of your blood. All of these incredible things that our body does without us even asking. Knowing that without even thinking about it, we are going to take our next breath. And just holding gratitude for all that your body does for you. Always remembering that you yourself are the soul. Your body is literally your temple, your temporary home. And you are the soul living within it. Our physical practice is simply a way to help peel back all of the layers that we've piled on over time. It's a way to help nourish our physical body. Uncover that seed of light deep within us to help bring us back to the root and truth of who we are. So holding gratitude always for your breath, for your body, for your practice. Take a big inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, let it go. Namaste. Thanks for joining me for this intuitive practice this evening. I hope that wherever you are happy and healthy. And if you've got questions, comments, requests, be sure to leave them below. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much.